So last week I had lunch with three gentlemen. Two of them I knew before, but the third one was absolutely the worst salesperson I ever met in my life. And here's why. So I've been in business now for 5 years, and before that I was in corporate for about a decade, and before that I actually worked myself for a short period of time. So I have met and networked with a ton of people, and I am, one of the people that would say, it's not what you know, it's like who you know. And so I'm not saying that I'm famous in Tucson, Arizona, but I've been around the block a few times, and I know several people. The good, the bad, the ugly, and I mean that very, very affectionately. I mean, we all have very, very good qualities about ourselves. We all have really good strengths, and we all have some opportunities. And 99.9999% of the people that I meet out there are absolutely amazing. They're great, great people. However, last week I met one person who was absolutely the worst salesperson I have ever met ever. And what's ironic is that his business is sales training. Yes, his business is sales training. He teaches other people how to sell. And as soon as I heard his name, I remember one time I used to have networking events in part just northeast of downtown Tucson at this hotel called the A-Lot on Speedway in Campbell here in Tucson. And I would have some small networking events for like solopreneurs and whatnot. And I remember a gentleman that came in holding the person's notebook in which I had lunch with last week, and he was trying to sell this sales training, the sales process to everybody. Long story short about that evening, when this guy showed up, I had to ask him to leave after about an hour because he was just annoying everybody, and he wouldn't listen to anybody, and he would just like push this sales course upon everybody. So lo and behold, last week, this is probably a year or so ago prior to this moment, and now I meet the person himself. It's so-and-so sales training, and he was, I have a quote that I always have in the back of my mind. It's from the movie American Gangster. The loudest man in the room is the weakest man in the room. And I absolutely abide by that rule, and I would never do business with anybody who is that loud, that obnoxious, and just does not listen to anybody. If you had transcribed the hour lunch between the four of us, and if you had down on words the conversation, I would guarantee that he had 99% of the spoken word that was said during this hour lunch. So not only did he dominate the conversation, but he never asked questions about any of us. There's the other two people there knew him. One knew him a lot longer than the other person. And again, this was my first contact with this person, and he was just he was beyond. 10 minutes into our lunch, I just wish I had not felt well and I had to leave. But it was just really, really bad. And the reason why I'm saying that he himself was the worst salesperson I've ever met in my life is that my obligation when I meet a potential new customer, or if I'm with a client, my obligation, honestly, is I want that person to speak about 80% of the time and I speak about 20% of the time. And I'm going to come back to this rule, this Pareto Principle, later on in this conversation. But that's what, in my opinion, that's what sales is, especially today. It's not only branding yourself on digital media, having an omnipresence across social and being easily found online, but when you have that one-on-one opportunity with somebody, the way that I think I make a good impression is by actually listening to the people that I'm about to work with and understand their values, their standards, their voice, and how I'm going to assist them along the way in helping them market their business. Now, one of the things that I think I do well is that, and I'm not saying that I'm the perfect salesperson, but by all means, some of the feedback that I get is I'm a good listener. I understand and I take the time to listen to what my client or potential client wants and what they need. And I'm able to give an honest answer. Yes, I can do this, or no, I can't. And really, I think the proof is in the pudding. I mean, I hate losing clients as it is, but I rarely lose a client. And one of the reasons is because I really believe that sales is not just the first meeting and getting the person to sign an agreement with you, but it's an ongoing process. And one of the biggest things that it wasn't just that this person did not shut up during the whole time. It wasn't just that. But he was saying that 50% of everybody's day should be prospecting. 50% of your day should be prospecting. To me, that's a huge no-no, a tremendous no-no. If you have any sense at all what the Pareto Principle is, the 80-20 rule, you shouldn't be spending 50% of each and every day prospecting for a new customer. And here's the reason why. 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your core clients. So if you're spending 50% of your day trying to find new clients, and then you have your other aspects of your day doing all the admin stuff, handling your finances, etc., what are you dedicating to that 20% of your core clients that bring in 80% of your revenue? Every business is that way. Every business, it may be plus or minus a percent on either side. But if you're spending half your day trying to find new clients, then what are you doing to keep your current clientele? And how are you showing your current clients that you love and appreciate them? So in my opinion, that's a huge no-no. I mean, I hardly spend any part of my day looking for new clients. Honestly, after 5 years of doing this, and I think I'm getting a decent reputation, I think I do what I say I'm going to do. Always another thing about sales is I say I'm going to do this, but I always promise this, right? So another thing about sales, it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing continuum where, if you're spending 50% of your day prospecting, as soon as you get them, then it's on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And then when you, as that customer, if they need you, and if you don't have any time to spend for them, you're not doing anything to retain them, can you imagine what this guy's turnover rate is? Can you imagine what his retention rate is? I mean, it's probably horrendous. If he spent 20% of his time maybe prospecting, another 80% of the time working on keeping his current clients, his group of the people that he's teaching how to sell, then maybe he would be a heck of a lot better than what he's doing now. And who knows, maybe he's doing fine, but can you imagine, I bet you anything, that his core book of business could be immensely, just way more, 10, 20, 30 times as much as what he has now if he spent any time trying to keep his current book of business. So I want to know, do you think you're a good salesperson? And what I think, and I hate using the term sell these days because, again, when I'm in front of somebody, and if you don't know what I do social media marketing for small businesses, right? So what I do, and honestly, it's in the social. If you go to my Andy Campbell marketing group or the Sean Campbell Show on Facebook, I'm always providing value and information around social media marketing and entrepreneurship. I provide value almost every day. So when people visit my Facebook pages, I'm trying to position myself as a leader in the industry, right? So that's the same strategy that I use when I'm, across the table from a potential client. Honestly, I'm just there educating that potential client. I give A through Z what they should be doing for their social media, what some of their opportunities are. I tell them what they're doing fantastic, but I tell them, it's like, no matter if you go with me or somebody else, here are your 3 things that you really need to do. And again, a lot more depends on that. Are we going to get along very well? Do I understand your business and your industry well enough to really assist you? To me, sales is just about educating and providing value and information. I never go for a hard sell. Never. And the proof is in the pudding. 2 days ago, I got an email from a person that I gave a proposal to about 2 to 3 months ago. They shopped around. They didn't admit that they shopped around, but I know they did. They talked to a few other companies, and lo and behold, he sends me an email. Hey, call me this week when you have some time. I call him. answer a few more of his questions, and we're going to start a program for him next week, right? And it was in my proposal. It's all very, very educational. These are what you need, whatever you go for, whoever you decide to go with. These are the 3, 4, 5 things that you really need to nail down for your social media. And that's the way it is in sales. Be educational, provide good value and information. Let the customer know that, look, not all the customers that walk in your door or give your call are going to be a good fit anyway, but give them the best of your knowledge that you can, right? And continue with a good email marketing campaign where you tell them every month how much you appreciate them. Another huge mistake, and I think you know where I'm going with this, give your specials and your extra value stuff to your current clients. Is there anything worse than when you see a phone company or a TV provider offer that new customer 15, 20, 50% off if they sign up now, when you've been a customer for 3, 4, 5, 10 years and you haven't got one discount? Isn't that really annoying? So why would you do that to your customers and your clients, right? So to me, sales is an ongoing process. It's not a hardcore close. It's not dominating the room. It's not dominating the conversation. It's listening to your clients. And it's being flexible. It's being fluid. It's being adaptable to their needs. It's an ongoing process. Your sales should always be in how are you going to continue to keep your current clients and your current clientele. It's not all about trying to find a new customer. I get it. Some of you in that business where you need some clients right away. I get it, right? And there's means to do that. But before you try to look for the new client, look at that 20%. How can you market them? Are there any of your services or products that you can maybe offer to help you get from where you are lacking right now and over that bump over the next couple of months? So I really appreciate you tuning in, and I would love to hear your comments. Do you agree or disagree with me? Do you think I'm full of crap, or do you think that God, I wish I could give his name out. Tell me what you think. I mean, what do you think of sales? Give me some of your top 3 things when you think of sales that you do well, and give me some things that maybe you could have some opportunities with. I would love to maybe provide some feedback. And if you know where this guy is from, what character he is, well, from what character is he based off, I should say. Put in the comments. The first 5 people that put where this logo is from, specifically the name of the character, I'll put you in the wheel of names, and I'll give you a $50 Amazon gift card. The first 5 people, so you got a 20% shot if you're one of the first 5 people to put down where this character is from. Tell you what, not the movie, but the character's name specific. Do that, and I'll put you in the wheel of names for a $50 Amazon gift card. So I appreciate your time. Make sure you subscribe. I look forward to your comments, and thank you so much. Look forward to next time. Oh, if you want to do what you want to do, then you got to do what you got to do.